Hi, everyone. I am Cindy Carnes, CEO of Empowered Hours Club, and I work with women entrepreneurs who are stuck and overwhelmed. I help them create unstoppable momentum and revenue while freeing up their time so that they can enjoy the fruits of their success. And I'm super happy to be on today and also have my friend Lisa Budo with me. Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would love to. Hi, I'm Lisa Buda. I'm an intuitive coach and environmental energy healer consultant. I help women clear their energy from blocks and fears to help them transform their relationships and life to live an existence of joy, peace, and fun.
I so love that, Lisa. That is amazing. I'm so super happy to have you on here today. And today we're going to talk about alignment, aligning your desires with your beliefs. So many times, we've been told or we've read or listened to something that talks about manifesting, right? So manifesting, it's like go and tell the universe what it is that you're after. Well, I want to be a millionaire, for example.
Yeah.
But then people are saying, well, I want to be a millionaire. If that was just, it was that easy, that's all I would say, we'd all be millionaires. But in reality, if we're out there telling the universe what it is that we're after, that we want to manifest, I want to be a millionaire, for example. But in the very next statement we hear, but that's impossible. But that will never happen. But I don't have the skill set to do that. But then it's our alignment, our desires and our alignment are out of whack. They're not in alignment. I think of it too, like our actions and our words. To me, that's a simple example. I say I want to do XYZ, but I don't do them. So our actions and our words are a little bit out of alignment. So, Lisa, do you have an example of a time where you felt that your desires and your beliefs were out of alignment?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably too many to even like, you know, um, because learning that I actually was the creator of my life was hard for me to like really grasp at first. So in well, the one thing when I was a single parent and working, I worked in corporate America, and I went from doing executive assistant and customer service and that kind of, and I worked in the sales department and all kinds of things. But I went and then ended up in the computer department and really was great at not only fixing computers and doing things like that, but doing training. I was really good at it. And the company, like I was where I could get to in that particular company. And I really thought I was stuck there. I thought, and like no joke, there were days like I went into work and I'm crying because I'm there. And I was like, okay, this is not where I want to be. And I want to make more money. So I put it in my and for a little while, stuff was not aligned. And things got a little worse at work. And I'm like, okay, come on. Like, let's make this happen. Then the woman who was my boss actually said, hey, listen, I know that you can't go any further in this company. And she was she supported me in everything I did. And she goes, listen, I will make sure you can get time off if you need to actually go apply and go interview. And I went, really? And she goes, yeah. She goes, there, and there was some other stuff happening within the company and yada yada. So her actually saying that made it like I just went, oh, I can actually do this now. Because it was like a difficult kind of teeter-tottery thing where I was trying to make sure like I wasn't getting in trouble at the work I was at, and because that was the culture, you would get in trouble. And I'm like, adult, what?
Right.
I'm here every day, you know.
Right.
So I did go, found a company that was another, they were actually a CRM company, and I went in to work doing their customer service and teaching people how to use the CRM.
Mhm.
And walked in, had a great interview. The woman who was the owner of that company just said, "Hey, listen, she goes, I think you're perfect for this." And then she quoted like $10,000 more a year than I was making.
Mm.
And I went, whoosh, everything aligned. And I took the job, and it was fabulous for about 2.5 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great example. I definitely love that. That's right. It's like that value. It's like, we also hear, do we value ourselves or our skill set? And for me, definitely, like you said, there's so many different examples. I mean, you and I could be here for months talking about our different examples of when our desires and our alignment, our beliefs were out of alignment. And I also, within corporate America, as a senior business analyst, working with on these major projects, it's almost like the imposter syndrome, because I would be like, wow, I mean, I have this fantastic job,
Yeah.
but also there was something nagging at me that was like, but there's something bigger out there. Like, I mean, there's a glass ceiling, like the example that you gave too. Where else am I going to go with this career? It's the glass ceiling. There's something bigger and out there. But immediately I'd say, yeah, but you don't have the skill set. I mean, even many times, and if I was even looking for a different job, well, who's going to hire me? There's so many other people with that skill set. There's so many people with examples, or I mean, experience. Even transitioning into our own business and being an entrepreneur. When I first started, there was so many beliefs and desires that were totally out of whack, because I immediately it's like, well, who's gonna? I was at the time I was with I was working with some product company, and I'm like, but who's gonna listen to me? Who's gonna follow me? There's so many other people. There are so many different options out there. What do I know? I'm over here in, as a business analyst. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not, marketing. I'm not these things. And so I'm like, wow, it was, it was definitely a learning experience. But it was like you said, at the time I wasn't even aware of it. I didn't even know what the impact of, which kind of leads me to my next question. So knowing when those times when our alignments and our beliefs and our desires are out of alignment, what kind of pain, what kind of, hardship is that causing? Do you have an example of that?
Oh, well, yeah. So the when I switched jobs, here's what's funny with that. I got that new job, I started it, I loved it. They also had a training program for training people to use the software. And the guy who was doing that, like, said, "Hey, do you like doing this?" And I said, "Yeah, I did it in my other job. I trained on the software." And he goes, "Would you want to learn how to do that?" And I said, I would. I really would. And so I started doing that. It was going well. Then the company, no joke, got bought out. And when the new people came in, they all had us talking to them. And, and I just told them, I said, well, I really am, like, my fit is in the training program. Well, their training was down in Arizona.
Mm.
I wasn't
Ah.
moving to Arizona. So I lost my job.
Mm.
And that having that happen, and like, it was terrifying. Because I'm like, okay, I have a mortgage and a car payment and a child, and like, oh crap. And but it was like that thing of, um okay, what next? And to really get that everything's okay, everything's fine, everything will be taken care of, and learning to really bring that forward all the time. everything's fine. I'm okay. I have people in my life who love me. I mean, my family's here. I have people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to starve or be homeless or anything. I have a network of people. So there was that whole, did I answer the question?
You're answering it for you. I mean, the way, yeah, it's all a good answer, but it's like, what pain does that cause, or me, pain, I don't know if maybe pain might be the wrong word really, but it's like, it is a learning, maybe it slowed something down. Maybe
Yeah.
that's it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, with having, it's like, here's the desire's here, belief is over here. And it's like, so what's the
Well,
journey
yeah. So
causing with it being out of whack?
so the pain of that was, at first I thought, see, I shouldn't have left my old job. That was the pain.
Yeah.
So because like all of a sudden I'm no longer working, and I was like, okay, this doesn't really work for me. But again, I got to slow down. I had never been on unemployment before, and I became unemployed. Went through that. It was fine. Ended up being able to pay for what I needed to pay for. It was great, and then and I dated.
Right.
So there was an upside to it too. It's just like everything will be okay. Because that pain of like I really had doubted my decision making.
There you
Like
go.
my decision to leave. And I was like, that was really dumb. And I was like, no, that was the best decision that I could make.
Yes.
And there was a couple other decisions in, losing my job where I said, no, the training is really what I love. And truly I was a customer service or a technical service person. And they're like, okay, then we're going to give you a severance and let you go. And I was like, well, no, I was here before them. Like I have seniority.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, that whole thing, I was like going, okay, so the decisions I made led me to this, and that's okay. Like, even though it was painful because it scared me, which I think a lot of times that is what pain is.
Yes.
Is that scared fear thing.
It's the fear of the unknown, for sure. That scarcity mindset too, when you said that. And that's exactly it. So when I take a look at, because it was a 7-year transition from the time that I had, I'm not sure, because we talked about this a little bit, but I had a medical in my corporate career, which then led me to entrepreneurship. And it will be 7 years in September when that event happened. And so when that event happened, and then I go, okay, entrepreneurship's the way to go. But again, I was saying, but I don't know how to run a business. I don't have this skill set. Who's going to follow me? I don't have any followers on social media. Who's going to listen to me? There's a gazillion options out there, and there's lots of people. If I looked in the organization that I was associated with at the time, if I looked at all the, people that had been in there a lot longer than me, it's like, wow, they're doing these great things. Who's going to listen to me? And so that to me was really going back to, okay, it changed. Well, they'll get to my next question, but that what it stalled for me, my beliefs and my desires out of alignment, what it stalled for me was really a 7-year journey. Now, perhaps I could have made that happen a little faster. Like you said, we are the creators of our life. We get to, create what we're doing. And so learning that and believing that and releasing the fear, because knowing whatever it is that this life is taking us on this journey, there's going to be all kinds of fun little things, dating, new skill sets, new opportunities, meeting new people, all of this fun stuff. So my next question really is, how do you handle it today? when you feel like there's something, so we practice manifesting, we practice
All the time.
intuition. So when we're saying this is what we want to create now, or this is what we want to bring into our life today, now,
Mhm.
and yet you hear that inner voice saying, yeah, but how do you handle that today to try to get those desires in alignment and beliefs in alignment?
Yeah, that fabulous, fabulous question. It is what has transpired in my life has made it that as long as I meditate, so I can get centered within myself, um, use my intuition. That is something, and I teach that. So that is I'm using my intuition, I meditate, and I listen to, I'm an audiobook rather than a reader. I audiobook. I listen to things that make it easier for me to get into alignment. So the meditation and listening to Abraham Hicks, or I really truly love Gabby Bernstein and Brene Brown, and I listen to things in a way that makes it that I know I can align. It just it will happen. And I do it every day. That was the other thing. When I first started it, that was not an everyday thing. It was maybe a once a week thing or not. But now I do it every day. And sometimes I do it twice a day, especially the meditating, because I like being in alignment with my own self. So then I know I'm doing the right thing. And for the work I do, that me being in alignment is crucial to help others. That's just what, it's just like I'm trying to be in alignment for myself so I can then, be of service to somebody else.
Right.
So that actually works really well for me.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, definitely for me too, it's awareness, and it is creating a new habit. So that awareness of when I hear that inner voice go, yeah, but, or that will never happen, or yeah, whatever that negative of it. So I think of it as, of course, we know the angel and the devil on the shoulder, but
Yeah.
also I've had one of my favorite coaches that I had that started me off in this journey of entrepreneurship. He referred to it as the negative roommate, that voice that's taking up space in your head that's not paying any rent. So when I say this is what I want to create this in my business, I want to create this in my life. Yeah, but no, I go, yep. I acknowledge it. And then I say, try to change it to a positive. And to your point, I use a modality of an application. So it's mindset work every day, waking up, doing my morning meditation, listening to my podcast for the day, whatever that is, a 10-15 minute podcast on something positive. And then the application that I use for mindset work, starting me off, but it's a habit and it takes time and it takes practice. And when you're out, eventually that practice, life is going to hit and it's going to knock us off that routine or that habit. And then it's like, oh yeah, just to remember awareness, pick myself back up and get back on. And I feel things are manifesting faster. And maybe it may be just, things come into our life when they're meant to be, but perhaps it's like that alignment and the beliefs the desires and the beliefs when they're in alignment, and just releasing the fear of like, it's just going to happen, and focus in on the day-to-day activities of whatever I have assigned for the day. So this has been a fantastic talk. I so enjoy having this conversation with you. Is there anything that's come up for you? Anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, this has been fabulous. I love this whole conversation on truly, I love all of our conversations. We do talk to each other quite a bit, so it's always fantastic, and I love being able to do this with you. It has been just such a joy, and that's what I'm putting in my life these days, is putting in more joy. So this is fabulous. And I appreciate you very much.
Thank you. I so appreciate you. So grateful for you. And yes, bringing in joy. And it's just getting, that desire. So we have the desire, we have the belief, and then it's the practice of whatever that is. What's that action, intuitive action that to take and just get out there and do it. And that's what we're doing. So thanks for all that are listening and watching. We're super, super grateful for you, and be on the lookout for our next recording.
Yay.
Bye.